Hey everybody, now we're inside the flight cages with the corvids. These are some young pied crows that are going to customers. This one's Bruce's baby, and I think we're going to ship this one on Saturday. But I want to show you kind of how to set up your flight when you get your bird. And this flight is actually a little bit on the large side. You want to make sure that it's big, but not so big that you can't get to the bird, because when you start training and working with them, you want to be able to get to the bird quickly. So I don't clutter the cages with a lot of stuff. You know, we'll have some toys laying around and things for them to play with, but I want to be able to move around in the cage and get to the bird when I need to get to the bird, and that way he doesn't get that release of pressure or get away and then learn to run from us. So this cage is about 8 feet tall. You could even go 6 feet, so it's a little lower. And this really works good for us. We've got a set here where we bring the babies down and put them in here. I like to cover the perches. You can use all different sizes. You can put some natural ones in, and I cover them with this AstroTurf. You can buy a good size roll. One roll did all these cages, and I still had some left, and I think it was about 15 bucks from Tractor Supply. And what you want to do is you want to either staple or screw, cut it to width, and do it underneath. And reason being, if you do it on top or sides, they're going to get to it and start picking at it and then get little frayed areas, and that could be dangerous. So you want to get underneath so they can't get to it. Same with the vet wrap I talked about earlier. When you wrap that, you want to end it underneath so they don't find that and pull it off, and then you constantly have to put it back on. Another thing that we like to do as well is make sure that you've got a covered area. So when it's sunny or for some reason you can't get them back inside, if it gets too warm, they've got shade, something to get out of the sun. The other end where Matthew's standing and videotaping is open, so they can get plenty of natural sunlight, and then they can hop in here if it was to rain or if they need to get out of the sun. And we like to put the shade cloth around the sides on the end so they feel real secure. And what this does too is it gives them plenty of room, and they can start learning to fly. Going up, going down, we can start recall, we can have them come to us, and it's a new area, and anytime they go to a new area, it's some good training. So I like to do this before we ship the birds when I can, and that way this step is already done, and it helps the bird adapt to new things. Being able to come down here, spend lots of time in here. We have a bathing bowl on the ground, and that's a bathing bowl that we get from Tractor Supply. It's actually for grains, and I love them. They're only about $7, $8, and we fill them up maybe halfway, not all the way, but halfway. And this will give the bird somewhere to go to get a drink, also somewhere to cool off, and it just works great, and it's very inexpensive. So that kind of gives you an idea as far as the flights. This is 1/2 x 1, and it's actually coated. The coated's a little easier on the feathers. You could use 1/2 x 3. What I do like is that it's a nice tight gap. That way nothing can reach through and grab the bird or hurt the bird. But the 1/2 x 1 is what's on here. 1/2 x 3 I use a lot. And if you use a 1/2 x 3, make sure you use it vertically so the 3 inches is up and down, because that's easier on the feathers also. So this kind of gives you an idea how to set it up. And like I said, it doesn't have to be, you know, quite this large, but you want something like this set up outside so they can get that unfiltered sunlight and they can stay nice and healthy.